I have never been more nervous to film a video than I am right now. So today I'm going to talk about a topic that is really important to me, and that's bisexuality in books. Or even I might go as far as to saying pansexuality in books. That's right, you heard me. Pansexuality. Specifically in YA books, because that's a genre that I talk about here on my channel, and that's the genre that I read the most. Technically YA is not a genre or whatever, I don't want to get into that spiel at the minute, but you know what I mean. I have read a lot of books. I can easily say over 1,500 books in my lifetime, and I think that's under exaggerating. I have been a reader ever since I was a little girl. I've been reading ever since I can remember. I never remember a point in my life where I wasn't reading. And I have read about a lot of different characters, but hardly any about the characters that I wanted to read about. Characters that were like me. I'm gonna start a little series on my channel, and I don't know how often these videos will come. Maybe once a month if we're lucky, maybe every once a couple of months. I'm gonna talk about bisexuality and pansexuality in books and like topics, recommendations, reading them together, maybe a readathon I'm gonna start, as well as a whole wide range of different things. So if you want to hear anything specific related to this, then please leave it in a comment down below, because I'd love to discuss this with you and make this sort of a discussion on my channel. Now, the reason I'm doing this series, the reason why I'm so passionate about it, and the reason why I've wanted to do it for so long but never have, is probably a reason that you're about to guess. I am pansexual. Now, I often use the term bisexual because that's a term that more people know of, and it's a lot easier, to be honest, in explaining pansexuality, which is basically just bisexuality, except that it means I will love someone based on them, on their personality, on who they are on the inside. What they are on the outside doesn't matter to me. Whether they're trans, male, female, or whatever. Their personality is the thing that I am attracted to. And obviously what's on the outside too, but like the thing is, I'm not gonna not date someone because they're a trans man or a trans woman. Where some people that are bisexual will only date people that were actually born males or actually born females, that, you know, that their body is. I'm not explaining this right, but you get what I mean. I'm not pretending to be well versed on this topic, or of the topic of LGBTQ relationships. I'm not, but I am one, and I feel like an outsider. So this first video is just me gonna be talking about my experience a little bit, and then the rest of them won't unless you guys want a video specifically in my experience, because I'm not going to get into a whole depth of a 30-minute tale of my sexuality. That's not what I want this whole video to be about, but I do think I need to explain. The reason this video is so hard for me to make though is because very little people in my life know. I think I could count the number of people that know on how many fingers I have. I think maybe 8 people may know. Now, as some of you may or may not know, I have a partner. He's my boyfriend. His name is Jason, and we've been together for nearly 7 years now. Unfortunately, people take that as you can't be bisexual. You're not bisexual, you've been dating this person for 7 years. Fact is, when I was a little girl, I looked at everyone around me, not just the boys and not just the girls. I had crushes on both, and I thought that was normal until I started reading, and I didn't see that represented. It was always boys with girls and girls of boys. There was no mixing the two of them. Then as I grew older, I would see the same stuff portrayed on TV, but again, no mixing the two of them together. I think the first lesbian I knew was Ellen DeGeneres, and I think my mum called her a let's be friend, as like a slang kind of word for lesbian. And I don't think she meant it maliciously, I really don't, but it was the first time I realised maybe this is something that is not normal, and maybe this is something that is not okay. And as I grew older, that happened more. When I was younger, I had a first peck kiss, and it was with a girl. She was my friend, and I'd been crushing on her for ages. I just went up and I kissed her. It was a second, it was just a peck, but oh my gosh, it felt so magical. And the next day we acted like nothing happened. Our friendship after a couple of years drifted, and then one day in school she started spreading rumors about me that I'd kissed her. And obviously they weren't rumors, they were true, but everyone started looking at me weird. And of course I denied it, and luckily people believed me. And I say luckily like it's a good thing that people believed me, because I didn't want to get bullied. I was so scared of people finding out when I wasn't even fully out to myself yet. I didn't understand. I didn't know that bisexuality or pansexuality was a thing. I liked boys, but I also liked girls, and it was something I'd never heard or seen about. Yes, I'd even been represented to gay people, but those people they liked girls or they liked boys, but they never liked both genders. I still hadn't found anybody that liked both. I felt alone and I felt confused and I hated it. I hated myself. I vowed that day when people looked at me funny, when people didn't talk to me when they heard the things, until I told them that it wasn't true. I vowed that day that I would never let anybody know that it was true. As I said, I'm not going to get into my whole story, so I'm going to fast forward a couple of years. And I still had those feelings. I'd figured out the term and I'd realised that's who I was, but didn't tell anyone. Fast forward even more a couple of years, to maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, and I thought maybe I could let someone know, so I did. And they didn't really believe me. They thought I was joking, and so I told them again later and they believed me and they said it didn't matter because I was who I was. And that was nice. So I thought maybe I could tell some other people. I recently opened up and I told my brother, and he just said to me flat out, "No, you're not." And I said, "Why?" And he said, "Because you're dating Jason. It seems to be this thing that you can't be bisexual because you've been dating a man for 7 years. I mean, think about it. That makes no sense. That's me being like to a straight person, you can't be straight because you've been dating this female for this many years. It's kind of the same stupid logic. Like, just because you've been dating this person doesn't change who you are on the inside. It doesn't change anything. And other people have told me, the very few people have told me, what does it matter? Why is it important? Why do you want people to know if you're dating your partner? And that fucking hurts, because it's me I want to yell, because this is me and this is important to me. And just because I might end up marrying my partner and only be with him for the rest of my life, it doesn't change who I am. And the fact that you can blow it off or not believe me, that fucking sucks. And I said it to myself I wouldn't cry in this video, so I'm not going to. Well, apart from just then, but I'm not. People tell people they can't be bisexual or pansexual. It's not a thing, it's just a phase. You're just confused. There are a lot of terms I've heard thrown around out there. Gay friends have gone to me, "Oh yeah, I thought I was bisexual once, lol," until, you know, I realised I was just suppressing myself, lol. And straight people have said the same to me, "Oh yeah, I thought I was bisexual once," until I realised I'm just straight. Like, you'll just figure it out eventually, which one you are. That fucking sucks, having someone say that to you, that you don't know who you are. I realise now that I've kind of gone on a long rant about this and a long spiel where I said I wouldn't, and trust me, I have a lot more to say. The thing is, why I'm telling you this is because I believe it's important. If I'm going to talk about this topic on my channel, make it a series, talk about why it's important to me, then you should know why it is, and this is why. Because I want to read more about characters that are me. The only YA character that I can think of the top of my head that is bisexual is Magnus Bane, and he's a secondary character in a series, unless you count the Magnus Bane short story books, which were kind of shit. The only other character that I can think in mainstream TV is Piper from Orange Is the New Black, though I didn't even know if she's bisexual. I saw the show and I was so excited. She'd been dating this guy, she went to prison, she started dating this girl. I was like, oh my gosh, she's bisexual. And people like, no, she's not, she's just gay. They couldn't, or they didn't want to believe that she was bisexual. I want to read about characters that I can relate to, that I can see myself in. I want to read a book where a character is bisexual and they're just bisexual, and that's it. It's not about them coming out, it's just they're bisexual, but it's about them fucking saving the world, or some YA dystopian, or some YA fantasy, or some shit like that, but they're also bisexual, and that's just that. Just like they were if it was straight. So I'm making this series, and I'm going to talk about topics, maybe a month, maybe each couple of months, and I'd really love your suggestions in the comments down below of what you'd like to hear if you're interested at all. I am so scared to put this video up, because now more people will know than the number of fingers on my hand. But I'm 23 and I think it's time to let people know. I'm scared of the people who know me that won't talk to me if I post this video. I'm scared that that's gonna happen. I'm scared that the people that do know me will watch this video, the people that I know in real life, and never mention it to me, when I just need them to say, it's okay, or even I fucking believe you, after telling people and them just going, no you're not, or that's not true, or you'll figure yourself out eventually. You just want someone to say, I believe you. But I want to do this series on my channel and I want to discuss it with you. So I'm sorry this first video was maybe a little bit too emotional on my behalf, maybe a little bit rambly, but I wanted to get it out there so you could know and know why this series is important to me. And I hope you'll join me in watching it. Obviously I won't be watching it, well I will be when I'm editing it, and maybe when I post them I will. I hope you'll join me in having this discussion. Obviously I'm just going to be talking about these two. Whilst everything is important to me, diversity bisexuality is so important to me in books. This is a topic that I feel like I can talk about because it's a topic that I am going through, that I want to see because of this reason. And if you have a topic you'd love to discuss that means a lot to you, talk about it, discuss it, start a series on your own channel or your own blog or whatever with me. Even if just 5 people watch this video, 10 people watch this video, then that's cool. Maybe if I make someone aware of the term pansexual, maybe if someone watches it and goes, oh, someone else feels the same way that I do, then that's enough for me. Maybe someone picks up a bisexual book and reads it and it's really fucking great because of the topic that I'll do in the future, then that'll be great. Though again, if you do have any suggestions of YA books that feature bisexual or pansexual, that would be even better, though I even doubt it. I think we're going probably too far in that one because somehow that's asking too much society. To find a great book that has those characters, please let me know. I'd love to read them and I'd love to talk about them here on my channel. I'm looking forward to doing this series. Let me know if you are too by liking this video, and thanks for watching and listen to me ramble and hearing me out. I'll see you next time. Bye. I did it.